this is Ananya, and today I'll be sharing the most important questions of the chapter number 2 of Geography, Physical Features of India. So question number 1 is write the physical features of Himalayas. So first of all, let's read the first point. The Himalayas, geologically young and structurally fold mountains, stretch over the northern borders of India. Here you can see the map of India, in which you can see that how the Himalayas extend from west to east. Here it's written that the Himalayas are geologically young. Geologically young means they are only 40 to 50 million years old. Now you will say that they are too old. Why do we say them young? One of the best example which you can relate of structurally fold mountain, old fold mountain, is Aravalli. Aravalli is 670 million years old. So I hope now you can differentiate that Himalayas are actually young fold mountains, while old fold mountains are very old. And they stretch over the northern borders of India. And you can see this is the northern India, here Himalayas stretch over. These mountain ranges run in a west to east direction. You just saw that they are running in a west to east direction from Indus to Brahmaputra. Here it's not written that here means Indus river and Brahmaputra rivers are not marked, but yes, here you can still see the rivers, right? They are light, but it's visible. So they run from Indus to Brahmaputra. Now the next is Himalayas represent the loftiest and the most rugged mountain barriers of the world. These Himalayas are the most rugged mountain barriers present in among all other many mountains ranges of the world. They form an arc which covers a distance of 2400 kilometers. You can see that they are forming a kind of arc, and the length of these Himalayas, they extend over over 2400 kilometers. And here in the western part, actually the width of Himalaya in Kashmir is 400 kilometer, while in Arunachal Pradesh it's 150 kilometer. Here the width of Himalayas is much more than the eastern side. The next is altitudinal variations are greater in the eastern half than that of the western half. There is great altitudinal variation between the eastern part and western part of the Himalayas. Now let us differentiate these Himalayas. Himalayas actually consist of 3 parallel ranges in longitudinal extent. First is Greater Himalaya, whatever you say, Greater Himalayas, Inner Himalayas, or actually which we say Himadri. Himadri is the most continuous range consisting of lofty peaks. Let me show you. See here. You can see how these parallel ranges are of Greater Himalayas, Lesser Himalayas, and Shivaliks. We are right now learning about them only. So it's the most continuous range, the Himadri. The average height here is 6,000 meters, and folds of Great Himalayas are asymmetrical in nature. This is very important. The core of this part is composed of granite. Its TE is not visible, I suppose. It is a perennially show-bound, and a number of glaciers descend from this range. Now the next is Himachal or Lesser Himalayas. See, now we are talking about this dark blue color range, Lesser Himalayas. This range lying to the south of Himadri forms the most rugged mountain system known as Himachal or Lesser Himalayas. These ranges are mainly composed of highly compressed and altered rocks. The altitude varies between 3,700 and 4,500 meters, and the average width here is 50 kilometer. Pir Panjal forms the longest and the most important range. Dhauladhan and Mahabharat are also prominent ones. Remember, this point is actually very important. You should know this. The next is, this range consists of the famous valley of Kashmir, Kangra and Kullu Valley in Himachal Pradesh. This region is well known for hill stations. We all know that how famous Kashmir is for, Himachal is for its hill stations. The next is Shivaliks. The outermost range of Himalaya is called Shivaliks. They extend over a width of 10 to 50 kilometers and have altitude varying from 900 to 1100 meters. See, now we are talking about this peach colored range, Shivaliks. These ranges are composed of unconsolidated sediments brought down by rivers from the main Himalayan ranges located farther north. These valleys are covered with thick gravel aluminium. In this Shivaliks, this point is superly important. Now the next question. The land of India displays great physical variations. Explain. So see, here in this we have to explain the physical variations of the land of India. So the peninsular plateau. First of all, let's see what is the peninsular plateau. Hope you can see this map. So here peninsular plateau forms this type of triangular mass. Hope you can see my cursor. See this. In that triangular mass, that whole triangular mass is known as the peninsular plateau, and it has two parts. Actually, in this map, those two parts are already divided as Central Highlands and Deccan Plateau. So, peninsular plateau constitutes one of the ancient land masses on the Earth's surface. It was supposed to be one of the most stable land blocks. It is said to be the most stable land block because, you know, at the time when Pangaea was divided into Gondwana and Angara land, from that time till now, this land mass has not been, neither it's been broken up or nothing such thing has happened to it. The next point is, the Himalayas and the northern plains are the most recent landforms. We just talked about it in the first question, that why Himalayas are said to be young mountains. Then, from the viewpoint of geology, Himalayan mountains form an unstable zone. The whole mountain system of Himalayas represent a very youthful topography with high peaks, steep valleys and fast flowing rivers. This is the actually in the same point, it's the reason is given as well, that why it's said to be an unstable zone. The reason is that it's having a youthful topography with high peaks, steep valleys, fast flowing rivers, etc. The next point is, the northern plains are formed of alluvial deposits. That is very important, that the northern plains are formed of alluvial deposits. The peninsular plateau is composed of igneous and metamorphic rocks with gently rising hills and wide valleys. Now next question is, what are the divisions of Himalayas on the basis of river basins? So see, I have a good image for this as well, that how what are the divisions of Himalayas on regional basis, or you can say on the basis of river basins. So Himalayas have been divided on the basis of regions from west to east. These divisions have been demarcated by river valleys. This is a reference line. Then next, the Himalayas lying between Indus and Satluj. See here, this is Indus river and this is Satluj river. The Himalayas which are between these two rivers is known as Punjab Himalayas. Have been traditionally known as Punjab Himalayas, but it is also regionally known as Kashmir Himalayas from west to east respectively. These are also known as Kashmir Himalayas. Punjab Himalayas are also known as Kashmir Himalayas, remember. Now the next third point is, the part of Himalayas lying between Satluj and Kali. see here, this is the Satluj river and this is the Kali river. So this area of Himalayas is known as the Kumaon Himalayas. Then the next is the part of Himalayas lying between Kali and Teesta river demarcate the Nepal Himalayas. See, this is the Kali river and this is the Teesta river, and this area, this whole part of Himalayas is known as Nepal Himalayas. Then the part lying between Teesta and Dihang rivers is known as Assam Himalayas. See here, this is the Teesta river and here is Dihang river. It's not marked in this map, but from here only there is Dihang river, and in between them we can find the Assam Himalayas. Now the next question, this is important. What are Purvachal? So Brahmaputra marks the easternmost boundary of the Himalayas. Beyond Dihang God, the Himalayas bend sharply to the south and spread along the eastern boundary of India. The Himalayas bend sharply to the south and spread along the eastern boundary of India. These are known as Purvachal or eastern hills and mountains. It is very important to learn the location, which part exactly is known as Purvachal. The next point is these hills running through the northeastern states are mostly composed of strong sandstones, which are sedimentary rocks. The next point is covered with dense forests. They mostly run as parallel ranges and valleys. Covered with dense forests, they mostly run as parallel ranges and valleys. We are talking about what? We are talking about Purvachal. Don't forget this. It comprises of Patkai Hills. This is K. Patkai Hills. One second. I should make it clear. Okay. Patkai Hills. It comprises of Patkai Hills, the Naga Hills, the Manipur Hills, and the Mizo Hills. The next is, what are the characteristics of northern plains? Let us come here again. You can see the green colored northern plains, and here it's written northeastern India. I think actually northern plains are these. See, this whole area where my cursor is moving, these are the northern plains. So the northern plain has been formed by the interplay of three major river systems, namely the Indus, the Ganga, and the Brahmaputra along with their tributaries. This plain is formed by alluvial soil. The deposition of alluvium is not in a vast basin lying at the foothills of the Himalaya over millions of years formed this fertile plain. How this plain was formed? This is written in this second statement. It spreads over an area of 7 lakh square kilometer. Area of, what is the area of northern plains in which they spread over? It's 7 lakh square kilometer. The plain being about 2400 kilometer long and 240 to 320 kilometer broad is a densely populated physiographic division. Why northern plains are densely populated? Then with a rich and favorable climate, it is agriculturally a productive part of India. Why northern plains are agriculturally productive? Because it has a rich and favorable climate, appropriate soil, alluvial, it's very fertile. Okay, then explain the divisions of northern plains. The northern plains are broadly divided into three sections. First, see here, I suppose I am having, yeah, here. See, the divisions of northern plain. So you can see this area is the Punjab plain, then this second area is the Ganga plain, and this one is the Brahmaputra plain. So first is Punjab Plains. Western part of the northern plains is referred to as Punjab Plain, formed by the Indus and its tributaries. The larger part of this plain lies in Pakistan. Okay, this section of plain is dominated by the Daods. See, Punjab means a punch plus up. Punj means here five. So Punjab is known as the land of five rivers. Where after the partition of India, only two rivers are left there now, and rest of the Punjab has gone with Pakistan. Then second is Ganga Plain. Ganga Plain extends between Ghaggar and Teesta rivers. It spreads over North India in Haryana, UP, Delhi, Bihar, partly Jharkhand and West Bengal. Ganga Plain is quite big. Then the Brahmaputra Plain in east, particularly in Assam, lies the Brahmaputra Plain. Now, divide the northern plains on the basis of relief. See. You can see the this is the northern plain, and they have divided it on the basis of relief. First, let us read the content, and then we'll come back again on that. First is Bhabar. The rivers, after descending from the mountains, deposit pebbles in a narrow belt of about 8 to 16 km in width, lying parallel to the slopes of Shivaliks, are known as Bhabar belt. All streams disappear in this belt. Okay, so Bhaba belt, after descending from the mountain, they deposit they deposit the pebbles in this narrow belt like this. So you can see that pebbles are deposited, and when these rivers deposit the pebbles in that area, all these streams disappear in this belt. The second is Terai. South of this belt, these streams and rivers re-emerge and create a wet, swampy and marshy region known as Terai. So this is a very marshy and swampy area, and all these streams which got disappeared in this Bhabar belt again reappear in this Terai region. Then this was a thickly forested region full of wildlife. The forests have been cleared to create agricultural land and to settle migrants from Pakistan after partition. Now the next is Bhangar belt. The largest part of the northern plain is formed of the older alluvium. This Bhangar belt, this is the Bhangar belt. Here this area and this area, this is the Bhangar belt. It is formed of the older alluvium. It lies about the floodplains of the rivers and presents a terrace-like feature. The soil contains calcareous deposits locally known as kankad. I hope you all know what is kankad in Hindi. The next is Khadar. The newer younger deposits of the floodplains are called Khadar. See. The newer and younger deposits of these floodplains is known as Khadar. They are renewed almost every year. They are thus very fertile, which makes them ideal for intensive agriculture. Khadar is the ideal place. Khadar region is ideal for agriculture. Now the next is explain the broad divisions of peninsular plateau. So we just saw what are the peninsular plateau region. What is the peninsular plateau region? This whole central highland and Deccan plateau comprises of peninsular plateau. Peninsular plateau is divided into two. First is central highlands. You just saw this green area is the central highlands. The part of peninsular plateau lying to the north of Narmada, covering a major area of the Malwa plateau, is known as Central Highlands. The Vindhya range is bounded by the Satpura range on the south of the and the Aravalis on the northwest. This is the location of Central Highlands. The further westward extension gradually merges with the sandy and rocky desert of Rajasthan. See, when we go the further westward of this area merges with the sandy and rocky deserts of Rajasthan, then the flow of rivers, namely Chambal, Sindh, the Betwa and the Kane, is from the southwest to northeast, thus indicating the slope. This point of slope is very, very important. Can you see this Chambal river here? I hope it's clearly visible. Then there were more rivers, like there was in that it was written about Kane river and about Sindh and Betwa as well. So like you can see that where, yeah, here this Chambal river is going like this, isn't it, towards the northeast, indicating the slope. See, we'll read about it after a few questions maybe, that why these western ghats are higher than eastern ghats, or why maximum rivers flow towards east. So see, means western ghats are higher than eastern ghats because maximum rivers flow towards the eastern side, yeah. And because very few rivers drain in the Arabian Sea, and even they drain through estuaries. No, not even a single river makes delta there. That is why western coastal plains are not that much broader. They are very narrow, while eastern coastal plains are much broader, which form a very fertile land area. Then the next point is here. The Central Highlands are wider in the west but narrower in the east. Then the westward extension of this plateau are locally known as Bundelkhand and Baghelkhand. I believe that it's given here, Bundelkhand and Baghelkhand. Okay, no problem. See, Bundelkhand is this area here. At this area is Bundelkhand, this is Baghelkhand, and then this is Chota Nagpur Plateau. The next point is Chota Nagpur Plateau marks the further eastward extension. We just saw Chota Nagpur Plateau drained by the Damodar River. Now the second division of these plateaus is Deccan Plateau. Peninsular Plateau is Deccan Plateau. The first point is it is a triangular landmass that lies to the south of River Narmada. You hope you can see this River Narmada. After that, it forms like this, a triangular landmass. The next point is the Satpura range flanks its broad base in the north, while the Mahadev, the Kaimur and the Kaimur hills and Maikal range form its eastern extension. There are certain ranges like Satpura range. This is the Satpura range. Then it is higher in the west and slows gently towards eastwards. See, it will come everywhere that the slope of the plateau is towards the east. This is the most important point, that the slope of even if we talk about plateaus or anything, the slope is towards the east. That is why maximum rivers drain into Bay of Bengal and not into, only two rivers drain into Arabian Sea, that are Narmada and Tapi rivers, and even they drain through estuaries and not by making a delta. The next point. An extension of plateau is also visible in the northeast, locally known as Meghalaya, Karbi Anglong Plateau and the North Kachar Hills. It is separated by a fault from the Chota Nagpur Plateau. Three prominent hill ranges from west to east are Garo, Khasi and Jaintia. Jaintia. These are the three most prominent hills uh, from west to east. Garo, Khasi and Jaintia hills. Describe the physical features of Peninsular Plateau. The Peninsular Plateau is a tableland composed of old crystalline, igneous and metamorphic rocks. The Peninsular Plateau, what is a plateau? Plateau is a table-like land. So if you talk about even Peninsular Plateau, it's once again it's the definition of plateaus that the land is like a table, composed of old crystalline, igneous and metamorphic rocks. That's once again based on previous knowledge that it's based on igneous and metamorphic rocks. Then it was formed due to the breaking and drifting of Gondwana land and thus making it a part of oldest landmass. It was formed due to the breaking, that point which I told you in the first question has come once again, that it was formed due to the breaking and drifting of Gondwana land and thus making it a part of the oldest landmass, which was Pangaea. The plateau has broad and shallow valleys and rounded hills. This plateau consists of two broad divisions, namely Central Highlands and Deccan Plateau. Actually, I believe these questions are this question should be above this one here. Explain the two broad divisions of Peninsular Plateau. So they have explained after explaining the divisions, they have explained the physical features of Peninsular Plateau. Now the next question, this is very important, write the difference between Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats. Usually in every exam, at least one difference question is there for sure. There are three similar questions. This is difference between Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats. Then difference between Western Coastal Plains and Eastern Coastal Plains. And then the difference between Lakshadweep and Andaman and Nicobar Islands. So in this chapter, there are three different differentiate questions. So let us now first see the difference between Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats. So the elevation of Western Ghats is about 900 to 1600 meters, while the elevation of Eastern Ghats is 600 meters. The Western Ghats are continuous and are regular and are not dissected by many rivers draining into Arabian Sea. We have just talked about it. They are discontinuous and irregular and dissected by rivers draining into Bay of Bengal. Why Eastern Ghats are discontinuous, or we can say irregular? The reason is that it is dissected by numerous rivers which drain into Bay of Bengal. The highest peak include Anaimudi. Anaimudi is 2695 meters. It's the height of Anaimudi. And the highest peak is Mahendragiri. Its height is 1501 meters. The Western Ghats are located at the western side of the Deccan Plateau. Eastern Ghats are located at the eastern side of Deccan Plateau. It's quite simple. They extend from Satpura in north and end at Kanyakumari, embracing Indian Ocean. This is about Western Ghats, and Eastern Ghats stretch from Mahanadi Valley to Nilgiris in the south. Now what is Deccan Tract? This is very important. One of the distinct features of the Peninsular Plateau is the black soil area known as the Deccan Tract. It's one of the distinct features of the Peninsular Plateau is which is the black soil area. This is known as Deccan Tract. This is of volcanic origin, hence rocks are igneous, because this is area is of volcanic origin, hence igneous rocks are found here. These have denuded over time and are responsible for the formation of black soil. This is very, very important point. Now the next, describe the geographic features of Aravalli Hills. So first is Aravalli Hills lie on the western and northwestern margins of Peninsular Plateau. These are highly eroded hills and are found as broken hills. They extend from Gujarat to Delhi in a southwest to northeast direction. Actually, this is a short note you can say about Aravalli Hills, and always remember that whenever you write exams, whenever you take an exam of SSC especially, you should write everything in points. While when you give any language exam, you should always write your answers in paragraphs. The next question. Write a short note on Indian desert. The Indian desert lies towards the western margins of Aravalli Hills. It is a undulating sandy plain covered with sand dunes. This region receives very low rainfall below 150 mm per year. It has arid climate with low vegetation cover because it's a desert. Indian desert has sandy soil due to which growth of plants, or I should say crops, is not appropriate in that area. Streams appear during the rainy season. Soon after they disappear into the sand. They do not have enough water to reach the sea. Actually, usually whatever rivers originate in this area, they usually disappear due to because they do not that those streams or rivers don't have enough water to reach the sea. And Luni is the only large river in this region. Now the fifth is Barchans. Crescent shaped dunes cover the larger areas, but longitudinal dunes become more prominent near the Indo-Pakistan border. This is actually very important that longitudinal dunes become prominent near Indo-Pakistan border. Differentiate between western coastal plains and eastern coastal plains. One more differentiate question. Western coastal plains, they run along the Arabian Sea, and eastern coastal plains, they run along the Bay of Bengal. Western coastal plain is a narrow plain as very less rivers drain into Arabian Sea, while eastern coastal plains are broader as many rivers from delta before draining into Bay of Bengal. It is divided into three parts. What? Western coastal plains are divided into three parts: Konkan, Kannada plain and Malawar coast. While eastern coastal plains is divided into two parts: Northern Sarkars and Coromandel coast. Fourth point is that any such deltas are not formed here in where? In western coastal plains. But they are famous for estuaries. There are two famous estuaries from where one is from where Narmada river drain into Arabian Sea, and one is from where Tapi river drain into Arabian Sea. They are famous for deltas like Mahanadi Delta, Sundarban Delta, Godavari Delta, and etc. Now differentiate between Lakshadweep and Andaman and Nicobar Islands. So Lakshadweep, first of all, the administrative headquarters of Lakshadweep is at Kavaratti, and the administrative headquarters of Andaman and Nicobar is at Port Blair. Then it covers a small area of 32 square kilometer, while Lakshadweep covers a small area of 32 square kilometer, while Andaman and Nicobar Islands are bigger in size and are more numerous and scattered. Lakshadweep is composed of small coral islands, while it is believed that Andaman and Nicobar Islands are an elevated portion of submarine islands. Lakshadweep has great diversity of flora and fauna. The Piti Island, which is uninhabited, has a bird sanctuary. While when we talk about Andaman and Nicobar Islands, it has great diversity of flora and fauna. India's only active volcano is found on Barren Island on Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Lakshadweep lies in Arabian Sea close to Malabar coast, while Andaman and Nicobar Islands lies in Bay of Bengal near Coromandel coast. Now, and this page is only of some journal knowledge, and this is just a detailed account of different physiographic units of India. You can go through it, and these are all the question answers of chapter number 2, all the possible question answers I should say, which you, if you will go through them and learn them by heart, your exam is in your hands. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day ahead.